especially the high yield videos in Speed app. That 4 videos of Sir I have like gone through a couple of times. And I don't know how he did it, but he literally covered, and I couldn't find like if even if I was reading the text, I couldn't find much more output from that apart from what he has already given to us. Those 4 videos I will recommend to everyone, the high yield series.
I bring in all the wishes and greetings on behalf of all the faculty members of Speed Medical Institute to Dr. Sarthak Saxena for scoring AML rank of 2 and CML rank of 2 in INISS November 2023 session in a Super Speciality of DM Gastroenterology. Congratulations to you, Doctor.
Thank you so much, sir.
So it's great to have you today in the session to share and know your experiences, that what you have, the journey you have undergone so far. And also we want to know a brief background history from where you started till date.
Sir, I did my MBBS from Vardhaman Mahavir Medical College in Safdarjung Hospital, and I started in the 2014 batch, and then I did my MD Medicine from RML Hospital, Delhi, and I just completed MD Medicine 2 months back, and then now I'm getting into the Super Speciality course.
So all through your medical history and career in Delhi, New Delhi.
Yes, sir. Born and brought up like from school and from scratch and from Delhi. That was my aim. That's why my aim was not a different college, but it was like to stay in Delhi with my family.
Yeah, stay in Delhi in different colleges. Now.
Yeah. Yes.
So, can you share the idea of to do a gastroenterology started when? Why you wanted to do? There are so many specialties in medicine available. Why you want to do this?
Gastroenterology, one thing is that used to amaze me is that it's a very physical branch. Like everything that you can read about, you can actually see and actually reach, and you can actually feel what's going on. It's not just in the theory. If you put a scope and you see that right there in front of you, if there's a polyp and you've been reading it from right from Robin's days, and now you're seeing it, and it's a very physical branch. That's why I fell in love the first moment I got to know about gastroenterology. I love rheumatology also, but then there's a stark difference between the two. Gastroenterology is a very physical. That's why I was always fond of gastroenterology. It's not just theory; it's there right in front of you.
And also intervention. A lot of
yes, sir, intervention. But intervention are there also in cardiology. But the defining factor for me in gastroenterology was that it's like whatever we are reading and whatever we are planning for the patient, it's a definite diagnosis and a definite treatment, and it's also very rewarding. Like if you put a scope and do something and the patient gets better, and it's a very
so it's a morphological perspective that you could appreciate. That
yeah,
what
yes,
that is a pathological aspect. Fantastic, great. Now, can we know what all you did when you started your preparation? What all you did to achieve this topmost rank?
Sir, my preparation was very different from what I have heard that people have done. I just gave my final MD exams like 4 months back, and at that time also in between when before my sent-ups, I also last time also I prepared. I didn't prepare for AIMS exam, but I got a decent rank of 17 last time. But I didn't take any seat at that time, and I actually went in that exam without any preparation. So this time I knew a little much more about the game, and initially I didn't even know that there was an interview in the last session. So this time I was a little more prepared about the game. I studied. I looked at a couple of toppers interviews, so they did guide me. They did help me a lot. And one of my seniors from AIMS also, he also helped me in regarding the game of the exam. And this time I came a little much more prepared about the exam. That's the only difference. I knew the pattern this time. And I don't know how much more I had read that made any difference, but I was prepared about the nature of the exam and how I have to tackle the questions. That's the only difference this time. And I didn't read a lot. Like I have heard toppers that have completed Schlesinger 2-3 times. I didn't read that much, but because honestly I didn't have time. I also had to give my MD exam. So this time I read very selective topics, and that too what was highlighted by the teachers, and that's the extent of it for my preparation, not the entirety of the super specialty.
You read through Schlesinger, or how did you prepare? I mean, because the super specialty proportion of question. What was the proportion of question for gastro and general medicine?
So this time I think it was the first 20-25 questions were from general medicine, and rest were from, and they had segregated the exam like that. First 20-25 questions were general medicine, and And right from the 26th question, it was gastro throughout. That there was it wasn't mixed in between. It was like there. So we would just feel that the 2025 question was from general medicine side. And that too were not very difficult, but you had to have read the general medicine. You could not, it's not possible to skip general medicine and only read gastro and go for the exam. That was one plus point this time because the NEET exam also happened very closely to the exam. That's why it was a little fresh in our memories. Otherwise, we have to prepare for medicine anyway. This is not, it's not just the super speciality.
Can you tell us what was the preparation for medicine? And then question number 2, in detail about the preparation of gastro.
Sir, about medicine, as I said, I didn't prepare specially for AIIMS medicine. I prepared for NEET as such, and that was something that was fresh in my memory. And after the NEET exam, I didn't read much of medicine. And then I only 1.5 months were remaining, and then I focused on gastroenterology for the rest of the part. And for the gastroenterology part, I read selective Schlesinger and whatever, and especially the high yield videos in Speed app. That 4 videos of Sir I have like gone through a couple of times. And I don't know how he did it, but he literally covered, and I couldn't find like if I was reading the text, I couldn't find much more output from that apart from what he has already given to us. And he highlighted the point like portal vein thrombosis is a new upcoming topic, and we as medicine people generally don't read much about it. And when I went into the exam, portal vein thrombosis was the star of the question. Like 2, 3 questions came from that. If I hadn't read it, it's not that I'm not a good student or the person who has read it's a good student, but we had to know that this topic is important, and that can only be highlighted by someone like a teacher who has been in this part of the those 4 videos. I will recommend to everyone the high yield series, especially because I didn't have so much time that I could go through the entire text and again and again. So that
you're saying high yield of gastro. I mean, INISS gastro.
High yield gastro. I mean, it's just those 4. There are 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 videos, and they are like super. I mean, it takes time to do that, but they are super high yielding. And I'm actually thankful for those 4 videos.
Now, for medicine, did you go through Harrison 21st edition book, or how was your preparation for medicine? Those to attend 25 questions.
Sir, I was not a very big fan of Harrison when I was preparing, and that hit me very hard in the NEET exam. That I couldn't shake that for a while, but my medicine was not always limited to Harrison. Even my PG were there with me, and I added whatever topics that I was thinking was lacking, and I had my set of notes, and that was my to-go thing. I didn't. In the end, I'm pretty sure nobody can go back to any book, whatever they have read, even 1,000 times. They cannot go back to any book. So for me, it was my medicine preparation was limited to those set of notes, and I mean, in this part of the journey, I don't think sources is the issue. Issue is to how much you can limit yourself and how much you can revise that limited set of things. And for medicine, 20 questions, those limited notes that I had prepared from long back, that helped, nothing else. And Harrison, I mean, if you're focusing on neetss, then yes, definitely I would recommend now that they are just barging on Harrison. But for INISS, it's a very different ballgame. It's not even about if you've read Schlesinger or not. It's about how much updated you are and how much new classifications you know and how much with the world that if the guy, if you're a good student, you have read entire Schlesinger matter, they will ask the new thing. And that's one thing. And it was very, I mean, they had asked one question about genera, phyla, and those classification that we used to read in zoology, and that helped somehow. And I mean, it was a very crazy time when we were giving the exam, but then that is what it was all about. It's not about how much you have read, it's about how well you have read, how much you have revised it, and how selective you have read it. Because I've seen very good students do bad at this exam, and people like me who have not read a lot but have read selective do get through.
What about your grant test and practice of questions? What did you do? How you?
I did 3 grant tests, sir. As I said, I didn't have much time in my preparation, but I did 3 grant tests, and they gave me a fair idea of the exam. But I had already given the last exam, so I more banked on that my past experience rather than this, because grant tests do help a lot. But then I do feel that the last exam that you have already prepared without preparation that I gave, that helped me much more than any grant test.
Doctor, what is your message for aspirants of DM Super Speciality?
My one message is that you have to be very clear about what you want to do. It's if you are doing for NEET SS, please, I have burned my fingers. Now I'm telling you clearly, do read Harrison. Whatever, even if you don't like it, you do read Harrison. And for the super speciality, it's you can't limit yourself to a super speciality book. And even if you do, you might end up regretting that you had limited. So keep your eyes and ears open. Keep people in your super specialty a little bit closer to you so that they can guide, and especially keep your teachers close. And listen to whatever they're saying. They might just say it in a couple of sentences that this is an important topic. And if they say it, then you take it down and then you go through whatever research has happened in that field, because they will ask about new things. They will not ask about the old things. And stop. And this one thing that had held me back a little, that there are some rumors that go on that to get into Central Institute, there are some issues. But honestly, if I got through, anybody can get through. And just focus, just ensure that you know about the game. Don't go like I went the first time and I didn't even know that there's an interview. So do focus on that, and then it's okay. But just make sure that you are focused on whether it's NEET SS or INISS, because it's a very different volume. You can't go together with both the exams.
Doctor, time to thank. Whom all you want to thank, you can use the platform to thank, that they have helped you, supported you to achieve what you're today.
So my family and my girlfriend, they have like literally, they are all non-medicals, and they have supported me all throughout the exam. And it was very difficult because I was leaving seats here and there. I was leaving seats. I didn't even join the NEET SS counseling, and the last aims also. I was leaving seats here and there, and it was very difficult for them to understand that why is this guy leaving seats here and there. And I was just thinking, I want to do gastro. I want to do in Delhi. That is the only. And they had support, and their support is the maximum, sir. I only did the studying part, but for a non-medical to understand this and just to keep on pushing me, that was the extent of it. And I'm really thankful to my parents and only them, and my teachers, of course.
We once again congratulate you for
Yes,
achieving such a great rank and also accomplishment of your dream specialty of DM Gastroenterology. And you're going to do wonders in this specialty. For that, advanced wishes, congratulations.
Thank you so
and
much.
best
Thank you
wishes
so
for
much.
a great career as a gastroenterologist in years to make. On behalf of the entire faculty team and speed team, to you.
It means a lot, sir. Thank you so much.
All the best.